I'm having a good day, too. It was called No Collusion, No Obstruction.
US President Donald Trump claims vindication following the release of the Mueller report. Hello, I'm Arlen Naidu, and this is The Heat. It was a two-year investigation involving 19 attorneys and more than 2,800 subpoenas at an estimated cost in excess of $25 million. In the end, U.S. Special Counsel Robert Mueller found no evidence of collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign, but he left open the question of whether the U.S. president committed obstruction of justice. For more, we turn now to CGTN's Giles Gibson at the White House. And Giles, take us through some of the headlines from the report.
Well, in this long-awaited report, Robert Mueller is very clear about two things right at the top. He says that Russia very clearly interfered in the 2016 US election in a sweeping and systematic fashion. But crucially, he also says that there is no evidence, he cannot find any evidence, that the Trump campaign coordinated with Russia in that effort. Here's the US Attorney General William Barr, describing that decision, that part of the investigation by the special counsel.
As the special counsel report makes clear, the Russian government sought to interfere in our election process. But thanks to the special counsel's thorough investigation, we now know that Russian operatives who perpetrated these schemes did not have the cooperation of President Trump or the Trump campaign, or the knowing assistance of any other American for that matter.
Now, when we get into these issues, these questions of obstruction of justice, that's when the waters get much, much murkier. In this report, Robert Mueller details 10 actions by President Trump that he says he examined in relation to obstruction of justice accusation. That includes Donald Trump, the US president, calling up his then White House counsel, Don McGahn, in June 2017, and putting pressure on him to dismiss Robert Mueller as the special counsel. As we, of course, know, we've got to this day, and Robert Mueller has delivered his full report to the Congress and to the White House here, but he's not entirely clear in his conclusion. He writes, "The evidence we obtained about the president's actions and intent presents difficult issues that prevent us from conclusively determining that no criminal conduct occurred." Accordingly, he goes on to say, while this report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him. So those last couple of words really clear in terms of the way we think about the Mueller report as a whole.
Right, and Giles, what's been the reaction and where do things go to from here?
One of the central figures in the coming weeks in this is going to be Jerrold Nadler. He's a Democratic member of the House of Representatives. He's also chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. And he's already said that he's going to subpoena the Justice Department to get hold of the full Mueller report without some of those blacked out sections, some of those sections that have been redacted. And he also crucially has said that he wants Robert Mueller, the special counsel, to testify to his committee no later than the 23rd of May. Meanwhile, another member of the Democrats in the House of Representatives, Adam Schiff, he's been questioning Attorney General William Barr's entire behavior in the way he has laid out this report to the public.
The Attorney General is not the President's personal lawyer, although he may feel he is. He is supposed to be the highest law enforcement officer in the land, and he is supposed to represent the interests of the American people. But when the Attorney General gives the perception that the President fully cooperated in the investigation when he didn't, that they provided all the information materials when they didn't, when the President, in fact, deprived the special counsel of perhaps the single most important piece of evidence, that is his own verbal testimony, that misleads the American people.
Now, as for the reaction here from the White House, we've had plenty of reaction from different members of the staff, but I think it can be summed up by this tweet that the president put out a little bit earlier on. It's in a sort of Game of Thrones style image, and he sends a very clear message to his opponents that, in his opinion, Russiagate, it's game over with that.
Thanks, Giles. That's CGTN's Giles Gibson reporting from the White House.